Ladies and gentlemen of the RNG Revolution, welcome to the 42nd episode of the RngCast. I, as always, am Buster Knuckle. Joining me today are...
It's the main man, the businessman 24. What's going on, everybody?
This is your boy, Raven.
Yay!
Yeah, the group is back. The boys are back. Let's go. We have some stuff to talk about. We have some news to talk about. We have some things to discuss. So let's just get right into it. Iron Banner returns and its supremacy. And I can say for one, I am loving how the new meta is shaping into the stream of things. Has some really good games. I mean, you know, you win some, you lose some. You always have some fun times. But it is a fun time. What are you guys thinking?
Well, enjoy it now because it's going to change. Sidearms do wreck fools. I can't tell you how many sidekicks I've received in this new change. It's unfair, actually. It's like having the last word, but with more bullets. It's kind of crazy, actually, but yeah.
That's what you're thinking about the... First off, welcome back. We missed you. And, I mean, I know you played some games because we played a few matches together. Sure. What are you thinking about how the new meta shapes up and how it works with the Iron Banner gameplay style?
Well, for one, I mean, your common average individual is always going to go for the sidearm, which I kind of saw coming with these special changes. But now everyone's getting to see how powerful, people like me have actually been trying to say sidearms are, but no, they're not as good as shotguns, man. Shotguns. It's all about shotguns, and oh my god, snipers, and oh my god. And now people are using sidearms, and guess what? They're good. Who said that? Your boy Raven's been saying that for a very long time.
You have. The people just love the aping mechanism. They love, go ape warrior.
And you can still do that with sidearms. Because sidearms have amazing aerial accuracy. You can ask Converse with his Zeal Vector, who he's still going in, aping, jumping all around, getting in your face with a weapon that kills in like 0.8 seconds for body time to kill, which is stupid. You don't even have to hit the head, and you're getting better time to kill than a primary.
That's very true. I guess the reason why I didn't use, and I'm going to speak in threes, the only reason why I didn't use sidearms in threes is because basically the predominant special weapons were one shot kill weapon, so your snipers and your shotgun. And so if you don't have enough space, if you're not in outside that optimal kill distance of a shotgun, 9 out of 10 times you're losing that fight unless the person was a scrub, right? That was my only thing with sidearms. I love Mida and Iron Wreath is my baby. That's my thing that I do when I have fun. Especially I did it with sixes, but I didn't think it was as competitive. Now that the changes to the special economy has occurred, sidearms are more viable, but again, that's going to be different in a matter of weeks, so I'm not even going to get used to that.
Oh, actually, as is, I've actually been screwing around with faster fire rate shotguns. Because I've actually realized, the aerial accuracy for shotguns got hit hard, because I didn't realize how hard I actually Batman fools until I came back and it's like, oh, that didn't kill. Oh, that didn't kill. Oh, that didn't. I do this a lot.
Change your play style.
No, actually, use a 2-tap.
What shotgun are you using? Are you using Invective?
No, I'm talking like Stolen Will, man. If it's going to be inaccurate, just get in with a spray and play, dude. Because if they're jumping at you with a Matador, you're going to be able to 2-tap them faster than they can pull this trigger a second time.
That's very true.
I mean, with the inconsistency of shotguns, it actually does kind of bring faster fire rates up to a degree. I'm not going to say it's like going to be super great or anything. I mean, for a while, I was rolling with the Party Crasher that I got to roll with rifled barrel and aggressive ballistics. And that's what I started running over my Matador because it has better reload. And the one thing that aggravates me about this special change, is the fact that your special doesn't reload when you pick up the special box. That's aggravating. And for a Matador, that takes like 5 years to reload a bullet.
Yeah, that's very true.
It takes like 5 years.
It does. Even with like a fast like reloading, was it gauntlet? It still takes a long time to reload that Matador. It's crazy.
Oh yeah. Actually, legitimately, it came out to the fact that I was abusing my final round, which actually made my Matador even better. But I was just being lazy. I didn't want to sit there and wait for all shells to load, so I just load one at a time. Which, like I said, for my Matador, that actually ends up being cheap and horrible. But I'm also lazy, so what you gonna do? But I have been enjoying Supremacy. I have been enjoying the meta. I'm just drastically surprised at how the common Destiny mindset has changed in my absence.
You left for 2 weeks and came back to a whole new mindset, huh?
I came back to team shots, and dude, I'm not used to that crap. I can't catch anybody by themselves anymore. I used to be kind of a flanker and catch people on the loadout. No, I can't do that nonsense. I can't get away with that crap right now.
You gotta have two people pressing from the front to flank. You can't
exactly.
just flank on the side because somebody's watching backs.
Because my God, I'll turn a corner thinking I'm seeing one dude's like, oh no, here's 3 dudes all with their freaking auto rifles belting me down. It's like, oh hey guys, see ya. Catch you next time. Bye. Oh God, it's ridiculous, man.
But, I mean, I got a decent lingering song that I've been playing with. You know, it has explosive rounds. It has what I like on hand cannons. Something new, but the auto rifle game is so much. It's so prevalent now. Like, I'm happy when I see, oh, I got killed by a. What was that? Oh my God! I just got
Commandeer. Commandeer auto rifles are freaking everywhere.
Oh, another Continental? Oh, another Shadow Prize? Hell yeah! So I'm happy, and for the sidearm, I'm using I'm going between fusions. I'm using shotguns. I have a couple snipers that I'm playing around with, and it's just it gives a variety of gameplay, which I'm enjoying. Like when I get killed by a palindrome, I'm like, really, dude? Okay, all right, that's fine. I channeled the inner Raven. Fair enough. It's the palindrome. It's what everybody's used to. But then you get killed by maybe like the what's one of the off auto rifles, Raven? Help me out. Just name one of
any of them.
Yeah, any of the slower rate of fire ones. Like I get killed by
if it's not exotic.
Yeah.
Like before this meta, if it wasn't exotic, it didn't see use much, man.
If I get killed
and
by
now
it,
all of a sudden
bow.
You're seeing Shadow Prices, you're seeing Continentals, does not bow. I'm seeing Genesis Chain more and more often. Mm-hmm. Thank you, Mercules, for releasing the fact that it's a 0.83 TTK, because it actually can be very serious and like very competitive somehow, but you gotta hit those headshots, man. That's like a slow rate of fire scout rifle. That's like a Jade Rabbit. You gotta hit those headshots, man. Jesus, because it goes from melting them to tickling them. Because you're right.
For my Titan brothers, the Fabian strategy feels really, really good. Because once you get close, it bumps up that rate of fire, and then you just start melding. It's really, really it plays to the Titan style.
Like I said, meta right now, like especially top tier, I don't expect like Palindrome to get out of the meta for like your top 1%ers and competitive players. From what I hear, shotguns are actually becoming a thing in that style of play. But if you have a fast rate of fire hand cannon, give it a shot. Like serious. You got a Thorn, whip it out. If you got a Water Star, whip it out. That's because right now those, especially Thorn, but right now those weapons are like the meta of meta TTKs. The only bad thing is because hand cannons got hit so hard by range right now. I mean, you don't need range for it to fire accurately, but you need range for it to do damage. But still, dim hand cannons, just play around with them. It might be pretty good, Just saying.
Well, let me ask this question then. With those fast-firing hand cannons, I feel like you're prone to keep spamming the trigger versus,
Go ahead.
Shouldn't you be pacing your shots though? Like that's what
right now. With your initial shot, from what I could tell so far, with their returning initial shot back to year 1 values, I haven't actually experienced that shooting as wild as I can, as fast as a fast fire rate can. I haven't really been noticing any kind of wonky shots yet. Now, I do pace more for like longer ranges anyway, because that's how hand cannons have been played. But I've been getting some like really hectic like up close shots, and like I said, I have not felt like any kind of like bloom issues there anymore.
Okay, so with no bloom issues, well, let's not say no, maybe limited bloom issues.
Yeah, minimal. Bloom compared to what was minimal.
Okay.
I'll use a hand cannon.
So I don't know if you even notice a difference here, because I know in their accuracy. Sorry, got sidetracked. The first shot, right? You know, if you really spam, it's a headshot. But if you got a body shot first, right, and then you went for headshots, do you find the headshots to be easier to hit versus getting that headshot first and getting that initial accuracy?
I don't know. I aim for heads. I actually never intentionally aim for a body. It's always been my philosophy to aim for the head. So, I mean, that's just something I've always been. It's like my little quirk.
She missed you, Duz. She missed you. She missed you. She missed you. She asked about you. It's like, oh, he's back? I'm like, yeah. Okay. As she caressed my face so slowly on stream. Oh, so slowly. I'm glad she washed her hands. It would have been awkward if she didn't.
That's bad.
Just I've been playing a lot with Scully because she's grinding to get her light level up, and I think she hit 297 or 397 rather. She's there. She's on the precipice. She's where it doesn't matter what your light level is anymore, because I think it's like from 395 to 400. It doesn't really matter. But she's been playing around with a lot of things, and I mentioned how target tracking with the auto rifles are the most important thing.
Yeah, that's why they're not really going to be competitive at high levels.
Yeah,
because they require too much commitment to leave yourself in the open, because you have to be in the open to take the shot.
Mm-hmm. It's not like I can dart in, bop, 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 dart out, bop, bop. Yeah, and I mean, credit to her, she's adapting really well. And we played, a fair few games. I think, I got 2 of my characters already done. I'll have to suffer through my hunter. No offense, to get those bounties done. But it just feels good. Supremacy is always fun to play when you have a team. It's really painful when you don't have a team, because it's just 5 individuals and you're just like, where are you guys going? What are you doing? Okay, cool. I guess everybody hangs back and I'll push forward. All right, whatever. But Iron Banner's Iron Banner. The boots are 100%. And the stat and the perks for the hand cannon and the sniper are always good. The weapons are always really, really good. So get out there and play. We have a couple days left. Now I think, if that's okay with you guys, that we move on to the TWAB, what Bungie has said. Because there's some things we should talk about. Not speculate too deeply, because if you speculate, you sound like dummies.
No, not at all. I don't believe that at all.
I mean, we can speculate a little bit. How about that? Let's not go too deep in the rabbit hole. Throw some spinfoil hats on and talk about aliens, time traveling aliens and stuff like that.
You're no fun.
We're going to anyway. This is what we do. They're planning to reveal the final live event for Destiny 1 next Wednesday, called the Age of Triumph. They intend to make it memorable. I'm not reading it off. I'm just paraphrasing. They intend to make it fun and memorable for all your to close the first major chapter of the Destiny franchise. So, first and foremost, You're not going to bring forward any powers, possessions, Eververse-related items, or currency. So everything will stay in year one, which means I'm going to spend a shit ton of strange coins for no reason now.
Been trying to tell you.
Yeah, it's just fun to have them.
So hold on real quick. Let's talk about that in depth if you don't mind, right? So the first thing that caught my eye was the Destiny 1 power. And it caught my eye because the first thing I thought was, are we getting entirely new subclasses?
It's possible.
Totally possible.
I mean,
I'm not going to say entirely new, but it's possibly reworked to the point where we don't recognize it anymore.
Mm-hmm.
So Blink is dead.
Well, Blink's harder to use. It's not dead. It's just hard to use. It just takes away your screen, right? The rangefinder.
The HUD. It takes away the HUD.
The HUD, yeah.
Well, at least for now, they're gonna shrink that down in the upcoming patch because they went overboard.
I mean, as the time went on, how I went from I don't want to have a full reset. Now that I think about it, it makes more sense to have a full reset because in no games do you carry your gear forward as much as we have already. You know,
That's true.
It just
Legit.
you know, you're not gonna play a Final Fantasy game and carry over your weapons.
You ain't carrying over Jack Squad.
You're not even carrying over characters.
The story doesn't even carry over.
Exactly.
Jesus Christ.
I mean,
You can't expect anything to carry over in Final Fantasy. The
mean-
story is scratched for every time.
yeah.
You know what's so funny? I didn't want a few weeks ago, just about a few weeks ago. I wanted to carry my full character over, and I realized that over the last 2 weeks, maybe it would be best to start fresh and basically have new characters because it would feel like a brand new, entirely different game versus, oh great, we got a larger expansion. I think I've switched sides on that front, and I'm okay with I'm okay even not carrying my Guardian forward and basically starting a brand new one. But obviously, if I wanted to be active in some of the activities, whether it be a new raid or some new strikes, off the bat, then I'll carry one or two characters over, that has achieved the necessary minimum requirements that you need to have in order to bring it forward.
And as for what we're keeping, it's the class, the race, the gender, the face, the hair, and marking selections for all your characters that have achieved level 20 and completed the Black Garden story mission will carry forward. They also plan to award those veteran accounts with honors that reflect your Destiny 1 achievements. So, I'm assuming we're either going to get a shader or an emblem or a combination thereof. Probably both a shader and an emblem for those that did it. But, I mean, the fact that they said class, it makes me think that it's going to be a rework.
Oh, yeah.
You're going to have strikers, defenders, sunbreakers, or night stalkers, blade dancers, gunslingers, but they're going to be a totally different. The nodes are going to be different.
I don't even think that. I think no, because those are subclass. What you just listed were subclasses. So you're gonna have
Titan defender, a Titan hunter, warlock.
Warlock,
yes.
yeah.
True.
But we might have something different, like fucking Void Smasher, basically a Titan that smashes things to the ground with Void Light, or maybe a Warlock that is a defender type. It's like, hey, I'm gonna wield magic and just whoosh, everybody's protected. And maybe the hunters won't be as squishy. I don't know. I'm just pointing it out there.
Doubt it. Doubt it.
Yeah, severely doubt it.
Hunter's been squishy since day one. It hurts.
Oh man.
But for the Age of Triumph, it'll be the end of March, so at the end of this month. But they have a few live streams planned. They have the Age of Triumph reveal, which is on Wednesday, March 8th. the Age of Triumph weekly rituals, which is Wednesday, March 15th, and the Age of Triumph sandbox update, which is March 22nd. So it will literally be, from the looks of this, the ass end of March, maybe beginning of April.
Yeah.
So it'll be the April update that brings us the Ages of Triumph. Now, since Biz, you want to talk a little speculation, we can do that.
So I want to kind of put a statement out there and let me know if you guys agree. This reads to me, this is the last live team update that we're going to receive.
They
right?
said that.
Yeah.
Okay.
This is the final.
From April to September, it's going to be basically what we have.
You mean like they did last year and the year before?
Yeah.
Yeah.
So
they're keeping to that. This is the third time they're doing it, if you're not counting.
It's not even about not counting. I'm wondering how big of an update is this? Is it like last year's where we got, a couple new strikes, different, what was it? Do we get COE Challenge of Elders?
Yeah.
Yeah, last April.
So something like that. Maybe they bring in a new Crucible mode. I mean, I'm just concerned, and concern is maybe a serious term, but I'm just a little on edge about basically how long this content's going to last before we consume it up.
Probably, again, much like any content did the past 2 years.
Yeah, you're going to have the people who burn through it, and then they're like, I'm tired, I'm bored, this, that, and the other. And then you're going to have people like me who are like, oh, well, this is fun. I have a very limited amount of playtime. I pick and choose what I want to do. If I want to do this, I'll do this. If I want to do PvP, I'll play PvP. But I definitely think, I hope we get maybe a new map. I doubt we're going to get a new game mode. There's so many damn game modes to choose from. Maybe
they can make Crimson Doubles a thing though. All this stuff. They can make that a thing.
And didn't they tease before that just because there wasn't a Valentine's Day event, they wouldn't?
Yeah.
So maybe Crimson Double might be a thing.
So maybe they'll bring Crimson Doubles forward.
And maybe as like a regular game mode.
I don't know. It would be cool too, and I think this would definitely add some life to it without actually doing too much. If they made Trials of Osiris 4v4 versus 3v3,
you can expect a change like that in the sequel. No earlier.
Really?
Well, everything's set on 3v3 right now, and they're regardless of what they're changing, they're still stuck with an engine that was also half in last gen. So what we get right now is what we get.
Yeah. So
considering our lobbies only go up to what, 12 people?
12.
Yeah.
That's the last gen limitation for straight up. Because GTA 5 for PS3 you had some of the biggest lobbies and that was 15 people. GTA 5 comes out for PS4, you can fit 30 freaking people in the lobby all of a sudden. Mm-hmm. Look at Battlefront. Look at Battlefield 4. These games that were made for PS4 can have massive lobbies. Destiny can't. It's not the fact that they don't want to. It's the fact, like I said, half of their programming is still stuck in last gen.
So you're thinking for Destiny 2, it's just going to be new gen. Obviously, it's going to be next gen, but we're going to have bigger lobbies. We'll be able to have more people in patrols or in
possibility.
PvP. Yeah,
the possibility is there. Yes.
So then the question I have is, okay, and I'm trying to understand. Is it that much of a limitation to increase trials to 4v4? Is that much of a limitation, or is it that it can be done, but in order to bring more pizzazz, more hype to Destiny 2, they'll save that for the sequel, that capability?
It makes sense to save it for the sequel. Because why give it to us for the next 7 months, 8 months?
Well, okay, correct me if I'm wrong, but I feel like sometimes when and maybe this is latter, and this is going to be different this time around, obviously, but latter in the year, so around October or August, then they used to give us things that were going to be in the next expansion that we were basically testing out. I felt like there were certain things that were given to us, so for example, when they had revamped the whole light the light level mechanism, they didn't just give that to us on September 15th, whatever that date was. They gave that to us a little earlier, but they locked the ability to get past, whatever light.
That's because it was ready, and that was only a week before.
Yeah, it was only a week.
It was a week before? Okay.
Yeah.
Just like last year for the April update, they gave us a week of the new PvP, remember?
If I'm not mistaken, that particular change was for the 2.0, and 2.0 was ready, and they wanted to preview it. They pretty much released 2.0 just before the actual official release of the Taken King.
Mm-hmm. So, for the pictures on the TWAB, for the Age of Triumph reveal, it is a Vex Minotaur in front of the Vault of Glass door, where the spires. We have to build the pyres.
How about the fact that there's also a hunter down below inside the Vault of Glass?
Yeah. Yeah, so they're hinting majorly that Vault of Glass is coming back, which, we are.
Oh, they're making Vault of Glass hints for sure.
Yeah, we're definitely assuming that. I mean, I personally think they're going to just make it a yard sale. Just give us everything and say, here you guys go. See you in Destiny 2. Enjoy your time. Thank you. But for the rituals, Des and I were talking about this earlier while we were playing. They're just generic emblems. So there's the weekly crucible, the daily story, the strikes, the weekly strike playlist, the nightfall. And then there's one that I know of as it's the Fallen. It's the House of Judgment. And then the Raid emblem. So I'm thinking for the rituals, they're going to bring a weekly PV, a weekly PoE in, and then a weekly raid. So they might be like, okay, this week's Crota. Here's the challenge. This week's Vault, here's the challenge. This week's Skolas, not Skolas. Skolas, it really isn't a raid, but they counted it, I kind of think, as a raid. But you know what I mean? Here's Oryx. Here's the challenge mode. Or the Wrath of the Machine. Here's the challenge mode. So it'll be like a rotating schedule for everything. Which I'm into. Because, then it gives you more likely chance to get loot. And that's what we play Destiny for, let's be honest. What are you guys thinking?
Well, when it comes to Kingsfall, you actually have nothing stopping you from doing Kingsfall right now for loot. Because all Year 2 stuff can be brought up easily to Year 3 standards. So, like I said, if you're really missing, that sniper rifle, that's about all I can think of. But yeah, if you're missing that, then, you can go get one.
So you think they might just bring Crota and Vault up?
Like I said, that would be the ones, maybe some of the earlier, like I said, maybe Skolas himself, maybe. But I just don't see... They don't need to spend manpower trying to bring up Kingsfall when it can very easily already be brought to current standards.
Yeah.
I mean, the weapons themselves.
I misspoke by adding Kingsfall in. I forgot you could just bump those up.
Yeah. I mean, that's... Like I said, it'd be nice if they did, but that's the one I'm, really not expecting.
Mm-hmm.
Out of any, speculation or anything.
So, Biz, what are you thinking?
Well, if they brought those raids forward, that'd be a great way to, kind of close the book, the chapter on Destiny 1. Especially bringing some of those exotics forward, like Pocket Infinity, Necrochasm, Vex Mythic Class. I think it'll be cool to have those, because I think those are the only exotics that haven't been brought forward up until this point, right?
Yep.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Pocket Infinity for normal, and then the raids.
Right. And Pocket Infinity, I can see them doing what they did with Icebreaker, right? Basically, you get it through running the Nightfall and having a chance to get it as a drop in one of the bounties. I think that'd be pretty nice. And to be honest, those raids, well, let me not say those. The Vault of Glass raid is I think a lot of people's favorite raid. And they don't even need to take and fight it, if you will.
Which I think also, if people actually play Vaults of Glass with current, with more applicable light levels, it might not be some people's favorites anymore.
Oh yeah, it's going to be tough. Like it's
because I mean, I think a lot of people have some member barriers when it comes to Vault of Glass, and the fact that they run it now and it's like, oh, but you could breeze through it, no problem. You can actually go in the middle and deal with oracles. That wasn't like the preferred strategy for Vault of Glass.
One person jumped down.
One person jumped down. 5 other people have their icebreaker on the balcony and peg away at the Templar and the oracles. That was preferred strategy because you weren't guaranteed survival in that mosh pit.
But you know what though? I would love that to be brought forward because it basically
me too.
Because of just the bad habits that people develop. Like, oh yeah, we're so powerful now, and it's like, wait, this isn't working anymore. What are we doing wrong? I'm so frustrated. Like,
oh my god, this is a fanatic. It's another fanatic. Oh my god.
Kill him. Wait, why did we jump down again? Hey, did anyone know how to do it before? Where's the cheese spots? I don't know, man. I haven't played Vault of Glass in a long time. Like, it'll be so...
Like, dude, I got covered. Why is the pool not here anymore? Because, you know, people forget that pool, before it becomes the Aegis, has a limited number of times you can go to it.
Yeah. Now, oh, yeah. You know, and you know what people will be frustrated with, you know, when you get to the last part and you get transported into like Mars and Venus and you have to shoot those oracles. Do you know how many people used to rage quit at that part because it's like, shoot the oracles. I need light. I'm blind over here. Guardian down. Damn it. Mm-hmm. I can't tell you countless number of times a year and how many times people rage quit off of that part alone.
In our raid group, I was the oracle dude because I would wear Acleophage Symbiote, take care of the first 2, tap, pull out SGA, mow the rest of them down.
Yeah, because the oracles didn't activate they activated the super good advice perk that made it, that gave you all the ammo you could just dump on it, just like the...
it's like 3 out of 4 bullets returned to you or something like that, and it's like, oh, you can fire forever, and oracles weren't technically target, so it's like,
So Des, you brought something up that leads me to ask this question. So you said Acleophage Symbiote, right?
Mm-hmm.
Were there any other particular exotics that are not used now that can see, you know, a revival in usage with these?
Not really. The only reason I used Acleophage and not a lot of people did is because from normal to hard, oracles took 2 golden guns. Like normal mode, hunters, gunslingers were like, I mean, a lot of people say like get on the hunters for not being relevant in PvE content. They don't remember like at least 2 gunslingers were required in like old Atheon. Mm-hmm. Because that could pretty much clear out all the oracles. Because they only took 1 GG shot.
Okay.
But third mask, all the helmets were like awesome back in the day because of what they could do to help. Like Abyss Encounter, Crota's End. Mask of the Third Man was amazing because you pop it once, mask gives you more energy, just more slashes. So I mean, it just made a lot of sense.
Right.
But now Acleophage is just bad now, so no. Not even Acleophage could help, and they would have to change it.
Put on Celestial.
Yeah, but then you're only one shot at one.
Listen, Des has showed me the way for Celestial Nighthawk in PvE.
Now, Celestial would be amazing for Atheon encounter because when you get unlimited super, just pop, blam, pop, bam, pop, bam.
Yeah, you basically have a howitzer on your arm.
Yeah, it's gonna be stupid. And I will do it. You bet.
Now, Biz, you mentioned something that caught me, that got my noodle working. When you said that the pocket infinity they can do like they did with the icebreaker and make it a nightfall drop. However, thinking that they have the PoE thing now, maybe they could make that a weekly 1 drop. Like how they have the sunrise bounty or sunset, whatever the fuck it's called.
So you mean do it, but instead of linking it to Nightfall, link it to challenge?
Link it to if that symbol is just Skolos Revenge, have it as that.
I guess you can, but I mean, I remember Pocket Infinity had its own like bounty, right? Where you know you have to follow like Thorn did. So
Thorn.
I mean,
invective.
I wouldn't be surprised if if Pac Infinity they basically take that piece and redid that again to make it, year 3, right? Bring it forward year 3 that way. If they didn't want to do the Nightfall thing,
I mean, the possibilities are really endless. It just had me thinking, like, why would they make it another Nightfall reward drop from the Sunrise bounty instead of making the new weekly a relevant thing?
Because then it will make people play Nightfall.
People play Nightfall people play Nightfall for the Icebreaker.
That's what I'm saying.
Yeah, but
that's the point.
Yeah, but what I'm saying is, why would you make it the same thing
to get people to play the Nightfall?
Well, then wouldn't they want people to play Skolas, the new Skolas, or the new raid?
People are going to play it regardless because it's just brand new.
It's older content brought back. It's
Like
old raids.
Yeah,
when they bring forward old raids, people raid.
Right.
I mean,
not raid strikes. I mean,
Right.
when they bring forward old strikes, people run strikes hoping to get that strike.
If you think about it, and I'm not trying to poo-poo on your idea here, but if they did include that as a Skolas drop, then why would you run Nightfall apart from the rep? I mean, some people don't even care about I'll speak for myself. I don't care about the rep. I don't do Nightfall for rep.
That rep is amazing, though.
it is fun, yeah.
It is, but I don't care.
Between Shira, between the Nightfall,
I'd much rather do Shira bounties.
That's like, yeah, but with them both, that's like one rank, like automatically, just there, just bam.
Sheeran by himself is a rank rep.
Is it?
Rep. Yeah.
That was half.
Past
It was like 2,500, and it's like 1,500 for all 3 of his bounties.
and Plaguelander.
Oh yeah, that's right. I forgot about that. Yeah, there you go.
Des, you've been away for 2 weeks, and you forget that I'm the patrol
I
master
forgot
guy. Come on now.
I forgot about the quest.
Come on. And it's easy,
I don't PvE, bro.
So, I'll watch the streams like I always do. I won't take notes because Des eloquently pointed out that why take notes, because we're watching it too. 3 minds can remember more than me writing down with a notebook.
I will make fun of you.
I don't care. I'm a note taker. I write notes for everything. You should see my notebook.
I was never a note taker, man. I was never a note, not even in class.
Yeah, he learned everything through osmosis.
Yeah.
Nah, legitimately, my economics teacher literally looked at me and asked me, "How do you do it? I've never seen you study. You've hardly ever done your homework. I've never seen you take notes, but I passed this class with a high B."
Imagine if you actually put in some actual effort.
I know. I could have aced this class. There's a lot of things I could have done, but that was senior year too. So it's like,
I'm like, hey, no. I'm definitely.
So it's like, no.
For my MOS school for the Marines, I studied in a strip club.
Fair enough.
It was the music and the lights. It just helped me study.
Sure.
I got top of the class and got a meritorious promotion.
Fair enough. Whatever works.
Hey man,
that's an interesting story in the future.
It worked. That was the story. There it was. But we'll move on to the memory lane topic. Des, you've been gone for a minute. Do you remember how this works?
I remember how it works. God.
Oh, come on. You know I love you. All right, Des, what's your number?
53.
Biz, what's your number?
71.
I'll go 14. 26. So it's me, closest without going over.
Fair enough.
What was the one movie as a kid that you could not stop watching? The reason I say this is because my son watched Jurassic Park. We had a TV. The TV in his room was literally dedicated to Jurassic Park. It would play, restart, play, restart. Like I set his DVD player to just resume the opening scene, closing scene. No credits, no nothing. Just whoop, whoop, whoop. It just kept running.
don't know. As a kid, I don't think there was a particular movie. It was a bunch of like Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtle tapes and Thundercat tapes that I could get. I watched the holy balls out of both of those. I had a few. I had like one or two of each, and I just watched the whole. I'm actually legitimately amazed nowadays that like they didn't break or anything, because I legitimately watched the holy hell out of them. Especially Thundercats, man. I can't even remember the exact episodes, but good God, I can like sometimes remember the ads that ran before the show would start. Is how much I used to watch that thing.
Okay, is there a movie like that now as an adult that you can just watch whenever it's on, or you have on DVD?
Strangely enough, the first Avengers movie.
Okay.
It's like I legitimately for a long while I actually watched it like nonstop for days, just because it was good, and I liked it, and it was like paced like marvelously. I didn't have a problem with it, so it's like I just kept watching. I could just about quote that freaking movie.
Yeah. I could quote Jurassic Park. Like I could hear the part and then just do the whole monologues. I could do all that. Biz, do you have one? Do you have one?
As a child?
As a child and as an adult, we could just do it.
Mortal Kombat Annihilation.
Oh my god, why that one? Oh my god.
The second one?
That's the second one.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
That's the one that's actually awful.
I know, but it was I think it was, for me, it was the scene with Liu Kang and Shao Kahn when they actually activated the animalities.
Yeah. Like legitimately back in the day, that was straight off the chain. That was legit.
Yeah, like
that was an awesome part. But don't watch it now.
God no, it's terrible.
Don't watch it now. It's that CGI is so bad now.
Oh, it's terrible. Especially Liu Kang's dragon. Oh my god.
My god.
It's crap. All the CGI there was terrible. Even like how they did Motaro.
Oh my god.
Yeah.
It was
that was minimal.
garbage.
Oh.
Yeah, and how they did Nightwolf too. It was. Oof. I feel like Hollywood needs to like revamp this movie, and bring it back. And then and Jax could be like Randy Rampage Jackson.
Well, who was it? There was actually the guy that played Spawn.
Quentin Rampage Jackson.
Oh, sorry, Quentin. So I said Randy. Sorry, yeah, Quentin Rampage Jackson. I said I call him Randy
because you thought Randy Couture.
Oh, yeah, that's true. Look at that.
Yeah, the guy, I forget his name. He played Spawn.
Michael Jai White.
Yeah,
yes. He actually played Jackson Reboot, and he actually
he would be pretty good too. Yeah,
magnificent job, just like the action and everything. Of course, that also had Jerry Ryan as Sonya, which amazingly they actually did a pretty good job.
7 of 9, right?
Yeah, 7 of 9 was Sonya. Like I said, legit. Not a bad choice. Would not have picked her as a good Sonya.
I wouldn't have.
No.
Do you have one as an adult?
Yeah, scary movie.
The first one?
Yep.
There you go. Like, legit now, another one that I can do, which also kind of goes in. It's also, like, sadly, like one of the best video game movies ever. But it is only good because it is so horrible.
House of the Dead?
No, the first Street Fighter movie with Jean-Claude Van Damme.
Oh my
and
God.
Raul Julia as Bison,
Yes.
right?
It is so bad, it is hilarious. Like, I know it's bad. It's written horribly. It's like acted half-assed at best. I mean, nothing against Jean-Claude Van Damme, but when you're the best actor on the squad, I mean, Jean-Claude Van Damme wasn't really known for his acting back then.
No.
He was an action guy. He just had to like do fancy moves and splits in midair and crap.
Yeah, splits, exactly.
For me, it's funny you mentioned Jean-Claude Van Damme because my dad used to tell me that I would either watch He-Man, the movie with Dolph Lundgren,
Oh god.
or Kickboxer with Jean-Claude Van Damme, and I would
those were legitimately both of those were really good movies back then.
Oh yeah.
But again, like I said, Jean-Claude Van Damme, best actor back then?
No. Terrible actor.
Action stars didn't have. Look at Steven Seagal. Action stars don't have to act; they just have to look good in what they do.
Yeah, and pose.
Exactly.
Gotta pose.
You gotta have that signature pose.
And nowadays, it's a tie between Hot Fuzz. If Hot Fuzz is on, I'll watch it. I have it on DVD, so I'll watch it anytime I want. And goddamn, I'm gonna regret saying this one.
Choose your words carefully.
I'm gonna regret it. I mean, everybody knows my love for Addams Family and Addams Family Values.
Oh yes. That's legit good.
But
Like that's
for action movie, I love John Wick.
John Wick's legit though.
And I get teary eyed every time the dog gets it. Oh my god!
Yeah.
I'll look over and my girlfriend will just be like, "I'm like, what's the matter? You're crying." No, I'm not. Well, yes, you are. Why'd the puppy have to die? What?
Like
What?
Like legitimately, John Wick is like the action movie that like personifies old action movies better than the Expendables did.
Oh my god!
Expendables was just dumb action that took itself way too seriously. John Wick was an action movie that really didn't take itself all that. It barely took itself seriously. I mean, the fact that the movie starts and this assassin gets back into the assassin game to take care of the people that killed his dog.
Yeah. His dog.
That's. I mean, it's a hokey like start, but again,
but
it's the fact that it doesn't take itself seriously, and it's just incredible action from that moment on. The dude like rips into high gear and just.
Keanu doesn't speak in that damn movie. I think the only line I've heard him say is, "Yeah, I think I'm back."
Like, exactly.
That's it.
Like, yeah. Hey, at least he also went an entire movie without going, "Whoa."
Yeah. Totally.
That's like one thing I like remember like from The Matrix, because that was when he was getting out of that phase, but still had that. I know kung fu.
Whoa. I know kung fu.
Because that was like that was every other line in Bill and Ted, and because he was also in Surfer.
I was going to say, hey, Theodore S. Press, hey, how about you knock it off there, Bill and Ted?
It's like, whoa, dude.
John Wick. First of all, I saw John Wick right before I saw John Wick 2, and I was like, dude, this has to be my favorite Keanu Reeves movie. I'm not even a Keanu Reeves fan. This has to be my favorite Keanu Reeves movie. Right. And like, what here's what crushed me the most. Wait, how long's John Wick been out? Not 2, the first one.
A couple years? 2 years, maybe?
Okay, so spoilers doesn't count. Cool, got it.
No. There's no story to spoil. He kills a bunch of people. Story ends.
I mean, my favorite part was
kill his dog. He kills people.
Story. Well, he was like, you like the guy's like, you hit my son. He's like, yeah. Why? He stole John Wick. He's like, oh, okay. Click.
Exactly.
And he brings his son over. He's like, come here, drink this.
What?
It's not about what you did. It's who.
He's like, you did what to who? Like, I think that was one really interesting thing. I think I heard it said best is the fact that John Wick treats itself as a sequel. The fact that the first movie treats itself as a sequel, because there's this dude with like a laundry list of history with all kinds of people.
We have no idea what he did. We have no idea his repertoire.
Yes, he killed 3 men in a bar with a pencil.
I mean, but as soon as you see the mob boss go, it's like, he's a mob boss, like, come here. He's like, no, you don't do it to that person, you idiot. Now I'm going to have to clean up your mess.
The fact
that's an indication that it's like,
the fact that he cemented his weapons in his yard should have let everyone know that this guy was not to be messed with.
Right? I think they did, but I think he was too much of a punk.
Let me tell you what got it. What shook me was at the club scene when he started killing everybody, and the son looks up with the gun and points at him, and John Wick looks up and stares at him, and the guy's just like freeze in fear. Mm-hmm. He's like, and then John Wick, without even moving his eye, points the gun down, shoots the guy that he's on top of, and walks away while the guy's like, "Fuck this, I'm out." Like, I was like, yo, he scared you straight. Did you just realize you had a gun in your hand? You could have took him out, and he paralyzed you in fear with just one look. Not even a sentence, a look. Bow. You were just
He
like,
kept eye contact when he shot the dude, though. He was like,
yes.
It's like, this dude's life is nothing. You're next.
yeah.
It was like Prince in the basketball game with Dave Chappelle.
Game blouses.
It's like,
Just floats down. Oh, man. We're gonna move on to the revolutionary ideas. We have a couple, and they're actually kind of fun. This one's from Co-Founder. Each host lists the top 3 things why you love this game.
I only have one. That's easy.
Community.
Exactly. Revolution. You guys are amazing. You keep me playing this game. You keep me interested in this game.
friends.
Yeah. The community. I mean, the game's fun. Yeah, the gunplay's smooth. Blah blah blah. Everybody says the same thing. It's the community. I mean, I could easily go play another game, but I wouldn't be playing with you guys, you know.
So
Or I would be playing with you guys, but you know what I mean.
The only reason why I haven't broken this disc is because of the community. Because I literally had thoughts of just.
I mean, hell, shouts to Munch. He went away and then came back.
Mm-hmm.
You know, in his own time. So.
Wait, hold on. You gotta be specific. He deleted the game off his PlayStation.
Yeah. Fully deleted the game off his system.
Came back and then created another account. This is like, really?
Yeah. Well, he recovered his original account too.
Right, but that's my point.
Yeah.
Came back and created another account.
Yeah. Yeah. Has 2 accounts. Mm-hmm. Okay, and then this one is a continuation of of Co-Founder's original topic. With everything else the same in the game, which isn't applicable now, what is the one change you would make that could be made in the game to get you right back into it head first? I guess this is more aimed towards you, Biz, because I never left.
I never left by choice.
Yeah.
So it's funny. I actually had one. I actually had my initial answer, but that was too easy. My initial answer was high caliber rounds on MIDA, but that's too easy. And so I took some time to think about it. And the one thing I will say is that, I like. So I'm gonna bring it to Titanfall real quick. So Titanfall, right? When you have guns, right? There's a set of perks that you can choose from, but all of them more or less have the same set of perks. You know, basically quick reload speed, running while sprinting, gunning while sprinting. Your kills will decrease the cooldown of your tactical abilities. And so I thought it would be pretty cool is if, you know, like archetypes had shared the same level of perks that you can choose from so that, you know, instead of trying to grind for the perfect role, you have all these good perks that you can choose from that you can make your own role, your own combination versus having to grind and then basically, oh, well, this is overpowered and this is overpowered, but have maybe 5 or 6 really strong perks to choose from, and you can only choose 2 or equip 2 or 3 perks. I think that'd be something cool. It's simplified, but it would get me back in the game because now I'm like, okay, cool. I can try different combinations of these perks, but I don't have to worry about having to grind for them because they all have them, right? And so I can see, for example, okay, I have this fast-firing scout rifle with crappy reload speed, so I'll just add the reload perk to it to boost that reload speed. Or I have a hard-hitting, you know, slow rate of fire hand cannon that has good reload speed. Maybe I'll add this perk that I can switch between weapons faster. You know, things like that. So it just adds, you know, like I said, it's simple, but it does add some level of customization where you can pick how you want your gun to perform to fit your playstyle more.
Des, do you have anything to say about that one? Because, I mean...
Biz, you're wrong. You suck. Shut up. That's why you're not a developer.
I mean...
Yeah, that about covers it.
Yeah, okay. All right. Fair enough. I was going to say, that's based... I would leave.
I mean...
Take the grind from me, I leave. You make it too easy.
So, but you're a
I've already
grinder.
said,
Yeah.
I've already said
Admittedly.
before, like, when talking to Converse, like, grinding makes sense in PvE. The only place grinding doesn't make sense is PvP. It's like to have some kind of progression-based grind for PvP would actually be, like, a legitimate help for Destiny just as a whole. Because not only would it keep people more interested because people can get the same type of gun, but also it would actually make a competitive scene much more viable because at least they can get the same types of guns. Things would actually be on an even keel on that level as well. So, I mean, it would get rid of a lot of variety in PvP, but overall it would help, like, as a whole, like, the growth.
Are you talking about what I proposed, or?
Just having, well, what you proposed is very similar to what Converse proposed a while back, and just making things more progression-based. And if we can get, like, something more progression-based, like something more set that we can work towards rather than just grinding for loot in PvP, like I said, I do feel that that could improve, like, a lot of things just in the long run.
So sort of like make the Crucible rep matter.
Something like that, you know. I mean, basically, also on in, make it like every other shooter.
Like
you know, you play
like
so much, you
system.
unlock this thing. Something like that, you know. You play for this long, you unlock this thing, or you can use this thing on this gun, or I can use this thing. Maybe it takes 3 weeks to get you like the perfect gun that you want, but you know, something like I said, progression based rather than loot based, like it is now.
Yeah, and Buster, I understand that you're a grinder. But you're also, I always speak from a PvP perspective. You're a PvE guy.
Yeah.
So it makes sense that you would grind. And you said I would leave. I mean, it's funny, but I understand.
Yeah, that's what I said. PvE, the grind on PvE feels so much better than the PvP grind too.
No, I agree with that.
Yeah, I admit, yeah, admittedly.
I agree with that.
I want a good Red Spectre.
I mean, good God, I'm still looking for a good. I've been waiting for a good drop on a Red Spectre because it looked like to be within my R squared, as it's being termed. It's been in like Raven's recommendation list for a long time, but I have yet to get a workable roll on that thing to actually be able to test it out in the now going on 2 years that it's been able to be dropped.
Yeah, I had 2 dropped in both of them. I'm like, why do you have that one perk? Why is that there?
That's like 5 of them drop, and it's like,
yeah,
you're garbage. You're garbage. Oops. Ultra garbage. See ya.
So let me ask this question, and I don't care if it's a silly question. I'll ask it anyway. Do you think there should be a straight split between PvE and PvP?
Yeah, for sure.
All right.
Like, Bungie doesn't like it, but at the same time, it would be awesome if there was that. I mean, Bungie wants a world where everything, like, you can just load up into anything. It's simple. It's amazing. But at the same time, I think we've grown past it, like, as a general community. That we don't need such ease, and what we do kind of, especially if they really want, like, MLG to go somewhere with them, they need to.
They need to separate. I mean, I'll even admit that I'm a PvE guy, and I mean, yeah, please. I think I might prefer the separation, to be honest. Like, yeah, I can take my guns in, but, you know, just because I'm Vanguard rank 257, example, I don't know what my Vanguard rank is.
Probably 258.
It's probably close.
Don't worry, guys. It's only like 150. Don't worry, guys. Don't go crazy.
Nah, it's beyond that, dude. The guy gets 2 hours. You kidding me? It's 8 hours 1 week. So, I mean, think about it. That's like 5 times 8. That's 40 rank ups in an 8-hour day.
But it just kind of, yeah, I think it should be a split. I mean, I'd be okay with a prestige system.
Yeah, some kind of system. I mean, something. Like I said, make it take like 3 weeks to get this kind of set gun, but still, I mean, at least give everyone the opportunity to be able. And I have heard about the Titanfall 2 system. It's like they have a progression system, but with currency, you can kind of like skip the progression system, sort of.
To some degree, yeah.
Yeah, I mean, but there's some wiggle room in the progression system, and so
yeah, I'd be okay with that.
Interesting.
I'd be okay with that. Using strange coins to skip. You know, I need to unlock this, but I need 4 rank ups. Oh, I have 300 strange coins that I don't need. Boom.
Something in that. I mean, now also in my recent playing of The Division, which is recently updated and has become like head over shoulders, like what it was. They have actually found the perfect re-rolling system that I think Destiny could actually do. Yes,
please do explain. I haven't played The Division yet, so
yeah.
I've been skeptical about it.
Yeah, but okay, all right. Division weapons are a little different because they're also a meld of more classical, like, shooter type guns. The fact that you can attach mods to them, so a lot of like their stat changes come from mods, and that's just droppable and you equip those. But when you get up to like a high end or exotic now, they have one of 3 like talents that affect certain that work kind of like a outlaw for Destiny, things like that. They have Swift. This gun reloads 25% faster. Just does. This gun can do extra enemy against elite enemies. This gun does extra damage against this thing. But like I said, high end and exotics can have 3 of those. You can re-roll or recalibrate 1.
Mm-hmm.
The other 2 nodes are locked out entirely.
Mm-hmm.
And you can only ever re-roll that 1. And you only get about 4 or 5 out of the possible like 12 talents that it can roll per time you roll.
Really?
It's fairly expensive to roll it, but not too expensive. But it also gets more expensive the more you do it.
So if a gun has 3 nodes, right, you can only pick one of the nodes to reload and the other gets locked out.
Yeah, the others, like I said, you can only reroll 1. The others get entirely locked out.
So that means you have to almost run. So that's like getting like a gun with high caliber round. Okay, let's say getting a scout rifle with high caliber rounds, rifle barrel, and the last perk be something silly like exhumed.
And be able to reroll exhumed like as many times as you want to get that node perfect. I think Destiny could actually benefit from that because it doesn't really take away from the full round because you still need like 2/3 of a good gun.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. So you still want some level.
Don't change that
part. Okay.
Yeah. So you would have to be like one thing away from a really good roll.
Oh, don't you?
There's plenty. Oh. There's so many A's Luna's outlaw, luck in the chamber, no rifle to reinforce, only small bore or hammer forged,
or brace frame.
Not everybody can get rolls like me, apparently.
Or Burning Wing. Hate that guy.
No, the palindrome that dropped that you literally said, fuck you, Buster. Fuck you, Buster. Just fuck you. You're not even going to use it right. You're going to use explosive rounds because you're an asshole. Yep.
Legit.
That was very closely quoted to what Business said.
I meant every fucking word.
I know you did. That's why I put on explosive rounds. Oh, you're not even using True Sight. You're not even using True Sight. What the fuck, Buster?
Yeah. That's how I felt. I'll admit it, and you damn sure quoted me. I think that's a good, cool re-rolling system.
Yeah, I mean, like I said, it's really interesting. And like I said, I saw that and it's like, okay, because I thought it was like one of those things that, okay, so I re-rolled this one thing and I can like re-roll the rest. Oh, no. I re-roll this one thing, I'm stuck with the other 2 forever.
I mean,
that system is like legit.
I would be okay if that was a re-rolling system and they make it costly.
Well, like I said,
don't make it cheap. It doesn't cost you anything, you rich bastard.
Yeah, for Division, it's fairly expensive because it can cost like up to 100 Phoenix credits, which is their like high end. So it would be fairly similar to it costing, let's say, 20 legendary marks now in this economy.
Okay.
But it grows a little more expensive each time you do it.
Okay, so the first time like 25, then
first time
40.
Like 25, and then like it maxes out at the 5th roll because they actually recently made a change to where you can infinitely re-roll that one node. But after the 5th time, it's the most expensive it gets. And let's say it goes up to like 50 or 75, and it costs like 50 or 75 every time after that.
Oh wow.
Okay, but that's not bad.
That's not bad, but it's still costly enough in the long run.
It'll still stop you from
just doing
mashing it until you get the perfect one. You know.
Yeah, and it doesn't go so high where it's like, okay, it's not even worth the price anymore.
Exactly. It's really balanced in that factor. And that's one thing, like, going back to Division, it's like, that's legit. That's something that they legit got right. Like, Bungie just scrapped the idea entirely, but they actually kept with the idea. It's like, good on Ubisoft Massive for that. Because they really had a stroke of genius.
And hey, Biz.
Either that or they learned from Bungie. And it's like,
yeah,
we don't need to do it that way.
With the whole rich bastard thing, just remember one thing. Life is like a hurricane here in Duckburg, okay?
And either way, come the sequel, he's knocked down to the rest of us. He's getting convicted.
Can't wait.
Why? I'll just catch up. I'll just go back into the grind. It's easy. Thank you. It makes me want to grind more, so I'll be fine. Then 3 weeks into, a month, 2 months into the Destiny 2 podcast, Buster, where's your strange coincidence? I only got like 1,200. What the? Just Biz again, losing his mind. What the fuck, Buster?
At that point, I'm calling BS on you only playing one day for 8 hours. Like, no, that's 8 hours every night. And stop lying to yourself.
No, I don't have the time for that.
I don't believe it. You're not even a full-time streamer. You can't have that many strange coins. It's ridiculous.
I do. I also have 3 years worth of playing, so makes sense if you think about it.
Yeah. You take 1 day off a week and just grind away along with your devoted Saturday.
I don't have that much time. I wish I did. I wish I could take. I mean, you also got to remember though, I was hurt a couple times and out of work, so I had.
Well, you didn't have Affleck?
No, you
didn't. I mean, either way, he couldn't work.
I couldn't work.
So he's stuck in front of his game.
Yeah, I could just literally go, all right, babe, have a good night. That probably helped. So, oh boy, this is gonna be fun.
No.
106. All right, Des, you spent 2 weeks away from us. And I'm sure you've listened to the podcast, and I'm sure I saw you. You got some things to say to us. I'm sure. So here's your time. This is the Raven Minute. It won't be a minute. I'm sure it's going to be a little bit. So there's the drop. Go ahead.
All right. First and foremost, as most of y'all know, I was sadly incapacitated from my position, and while I was gone for the past 2 weeks. And I realized fast that each and every one of the members of the Revolution, of this glorious community, you guys have really been my boon. You've been my rock. I was in a pretty tough spot without everything. Just without voices asking, if I was okay and how things were going. And that's really been a really great thing from this community that I didn't even fully realize I had when I had it. I'm so grateful to be back for that at a minimum, and that's very selfish of me, and I apologize. But also, since I've come back, I have listened to the past 2 weeks of podcasts because your boy will listen. There's been some very wide and wild statements said on this podcast that have both shocked and appalled me. And it has driven me to a point where I've even made a list. Now, that's out of the way. Let's get this shindig kicked off. My friend business. Oh, business.
Give it to me.
Oh, wow. In your own words, I will shred you in half.
You knew this was coming, Biz. Come on, man.
Hey, man, I'll take it. It is what
in
it is.
In the words of Bane, I'll break you. For one thing I actually noticed, you made a comment about scories being personally useless for you. Because bonus super energy on kills, it's like, OMG, that means bad juju is useless for you too, right? Because it's effectively the exact same thing. Bonus super energy on kills. How dare they actually shift an artifact into an active playstyle? Wow, I'm spitting. excuse me. Like, those watching may actually be able to catch a glint of light off that one. Jesus. So, yes. So they're shifting an artifact into an actual active role. Your example was Death Zamboni. And oh my god, yeah, we have to wait like 2 minutes for everyone to feed off scories just before we can start the encounter. Mm-hmm. Isn't this fun? Staring at the Zamboni, waiting for the gold glow to go everywhere. Oh, hey, everybody's there. I think even Dan Infinity said it himself that stop can really just hit a brick wall for any momentum you have, and it can really suck, like starting from cold momentum and trying to get over Death Zamboni, but that's a whole nother talk entirely. 2, you kept mentioning that Bungie was backpedaling on their words. The artifacts were not being changed.
Yes.
What you failed to even read about, at the very latest, they mentioned in the TWAB the day after the stream, if not the stream itself, that artifacts were being changed this next patch. TWAB, day after the stream. You can go and check it. I sourced it.
I believe you.
But yet, that doesn't help the fact you went like an hour and a half talking about how Bungie was going back on their word. You went from making Bungie sound like pussies to making yourself sound ignorant.
Okay.
3, change to Ophidians. They changed it. Have you checked how much they changed it?
Yes, I have.
How much have they changed it?
It's not as harsh as I thought it would be.
Because I've actually checked how much they changed it.
I think it's by a frame or 2.
On what I've checked, now these were both like mid-tier handling specimens, so it might be better, it might be worse, but yeah, 1 frame, 1/30th of a second was the change, switching from a Susanoo to blind predict. 1/30th of a second. 1/30th. Biz, come on now. And also on a side note, you're kind of a scrub for thinking that reload and handling was the same thing. Anyway. But lastly, but not least, one thing that really just keeps getting, like, really digging into my skin is one thing. Every time Bungie makes a change, how they change it affects you. But it's always Bungie's fault. They nerfed Ophidians. It's Bungie's fault. It's Bungie's idiots. I mean, it doesn't matter that they took, 2 solid years to actually take, next 2.5 years to take precision damage off the last word, which could 2-tap. It took them 2.5 years to finally decide that, hey, that's not fair. But a year for the Ophidian aspects, oh my god, they're morons. But yet, every change that Bungie's been doing, it's always been Bungie's fault from your perspective. And that's interesting. Do you know the definition of a scrub?
Yeah.
A person that actually is effectively faultless for anything that happens?
Yes, I understand that.
So you understand you are right now exhibiting like perfect scrub mentality when it comes to at least attempting to play the game. Not even in your gameplay, which is the sad part. You're more understanding of your own mistakes when it comes to actually playing the game. Before you even put the game in, it's all the developer's fault.
On certain things, I understood some things were broken or abused. No, I'll cop to what I said. And with the Scories comment, yes, I said it was useless, but I also said, if you go back to the tape, that I welcome the change. And
you welcome the change, but it was useless for you, which is still a dumb comment. I'm sorry.
Well, whether it be dumb or not, it's my comment. I'll stand by it. I mean, not back down. But
to be fair, I mean, yeah, you can have your comment. That's fair. But I'm just letting you know.
No, that's fine, and I appreciate it. And like I said, what you won't see me do is say, "Well, no, I'm not gonna." Yeah, I said it was useless for me, but also too, I really didn't even use Scories like other people abuse Scories. Yeah, Scories was an issue for campers. It was abusive, with
PvP,
people.
That's legit. That's legit. People.
It is legit,
and that's sad. That's
which is
tragic.
Which is why I said I welcome the change.
Yeah.
But when I said useless for me, I don't PvE like everybody else does. So it would be an artifact that I probably wouldn't even use because I don't PvE like that. I would use, and I stated this, I would use Yolder. I'd use Radagast for PvE. PvE?
Yeah,
I don't like sprint locks.
When do you get sprint locked in PvE? You're trying too hard if you're getting sprint locked in PvE. Buddy.
Hey, I will cop that I'm a chard.
You're not even going above. You're not even going through try hard. I mean, you're just trying hard, not as a try hard. You're just trying hard. If you're running around that much in PvE, well, actually, it does explain why you died a few times. But
yeah, pretty much. I sprint. That's my move. I hate walking in the game. It's too slow. It's crazy.
But also, when it comes to the fact that you also made mention that you were talking like Bungie had to communicate to us. Now, man, that's just a general feel that I picked up. But you spoke in ways and it's like, yeah, of course Bungie's going to talk to us. They're a company. How often do any of the 3 primary developers for Call of Duty actually communicate thoroughly with their community as well as Bungie does?
Probably not as much as Bungie, but to be honest, I don't really buy their games because...
Neither do I.
So, I mean...
I actually had to ask an outside source for this, who it still isn't even recent in the COD community, but COD's main mentality is, here's your game, we're working on the next one.
Oh, which is why I don't buy the games. See,
exactly, they're garbage.
COD's
garbage.
I have a fundamental issue where you buy a COD game and then the following year a new one comes out and it's like, I'm still playing this same one, so I have to go buy another one to keep. That's one of the reasons why I stopped buying a lot of the sports games, like NBA 2K17 and Madden. I'm like, no, why do I need to buy another game? You should send an update because all you're changing essentially is the rosters,
which is what Bungie's done for the past 3 years. Which is why, in the long run, people also are getting less and less happy about it because they're realizing they've been playing the exact same game with the glorified roster changes for the past 3 years. And it's just not in that mentality for them to tolerate that. Which, understandably, Destiny came out in a time to where its engine, when it came out, was already slightly outdated. I mean, as it came out, the engine was already... The user interface looks beautiful on it. But the engine itself was subpar at best from launch. And it has not improved much, at all.
Mm-hmm.
At all. So, also, on a side note, because, yeah, this has been, me pointing out, issues from that. Hey, Buster, you miss elemental primaries? What the hell is wrong with you?
I do. I miss them.
So, Buster misses having his arsenal limited. You heard it here. Look, that's all I remember about elemental primaries. It's void burn. I have to use this elemental primary. Oh, it's solar burn. Got it. I can't get a vision of confluence drop to save my life. I got to use the best defiant.
Well, if you remember, I said that I kind of want a consumable that gives a legendary.
It's still garbage.
The arc.
I don't care. Screw it. Leave it the way it is. Kinetic damage, man. Just use whatever. Don't apologize.
Ex-girlfriend.
Because at least it's not. At least when it's not an arc burn, you can use whatever. Yeah. Because if it's arc burn, freaking throw on the solo. Jesus Christ.
Oh, you mean like
this? I ripped Bungie. I know I did. I had nothing back.
You did.
But also at the same time, nothing's Bungie's fault really. You're holding Bungie to this really high pedestal that should not exist.
You know why I hold him at a high pedestal, and maybe this will. You will probably see this. Okay, well, I understand why you would feel this way, or you'd be like, okay, well, that's dumb. So, being that I'm in the software business, I can only imagine, as a team lead, right? Where okay, we're delivering this product, and we know we have flaws, and it's like, well, why wasn't this tackled from jump?
Okay. Also, side note there. Do you have a normal classical structure? You work for someone. That person works for someone. There's a hierarchy to things, right?
Yes.
From what I heard from reports, that hierarchy does not exist in Bungie.
What do you mean?
They're more open. They actually, when they moved into Microsoft Studios, after Microsoft bought them and actually moved them into Microsoft Studios. One of the first things they did was they literally tore down the walls inside their building to work in a very open environment.
It's all open. If you look at like the pictures of people,
they don't have a hierarchy. This is also how Final Fantasy 15 was made, because when the new director actually went in, he obliterated the hierarchy, and people, instead of working for people, they worked alongside people.
Yeah, having a flat horizontal structure. Yeah.
And if you listen to how Bungie develops, that's how they work. They pull this dude from art. Okay, we need you to help. The stories of how they got Crimson Doubles together. All right, we need you from art over here. We need to make this effect. We need you from PvP. How's this going to work? We need you to program this. They're very flat. They don't have... It's liability evenly. I mean, things happen. Ideas come across. To be honest, I can't even wrap my head around how that can work, because I'm so stuck in hierarchy coming from plants and such. I cannot understand how a little flat something like that can work, like, successfully, without egos getting in the way.
Well, hold on. There are still, like, okay, although it's flat, we don't have every single person in the company on the same level, right? There's
not the exact same level, no.
Right. There's got to be there's a decision maker, right?
There are certain
project leads.
I mean, that's like Wisniewski. He is like, exactly. They use the term lead a lot, if you notice.
Yes.
So while they do have the person that holds basically, but at the same time, that's a liability standpoint. Also, that's just okay. This is the person we blame for this. So I mean, but at the same time, again, I mean, how do you really point blame at equally without a hierarchy to actually go down the chain? It's like, okay, yeah, you're the project lead, but what did you have working on this? Well, that guy over there, that guy over there, that guy over there. He helped. Well, he had about an hour to test it.
Well, Carol, you know what? Carol from HR.
Well, to be honest, as a leader, you're not going to shift the blame on any of your people that's working on your team. You're going to take it, it's my fault. Even though you may not have nothing to do with it, that's what a good leader does. It's my fault. And so... and
actually, you'll see leaders post on This Week at Bungie quite often. It's like, hey, this is what we're doing.
Right.
Like I said, these are people that are communicating with us.
I understand that, but my point with communication was, I think Dan Finney has said, at least you're talking to us. And I'm like, but I guess where I come from, we have to communicate. In my field,
you have to communicate with each other.
Well, we also have to communicate with our clients too.
That's only to get your clients to shut the hell up.
Well, no, because the clients are paying our bills.
Exactly. That's to get the clients to shut the hell up. Like I said, I worked in factories. I get that part. We only did things to get the client to shut the hell up.
Right.
That's why we made change. That's why we had good quality. That's why we strived for good quality. In the end, that's what it boils down to for businesses. You want to get the people paying your bills to shut the hell up so they can keep paying your bills.
Right.
Yeah, I want you to pay my bills.
I mean, that's exactly. I mean, that's the basic mentality behind it. It's not really like it's usually not like a self-righteous, oh, we just want our customers to be this happy. No, we want them to shut the hell up.
Well,
usually.
To be honest, I feel like some companies,
they're outliers. Yeah, they're outliers.
Right.
Yeah.
I guess the way I looked at Bungie in certain ways was, at times I feel like they can be very stubborn without listening to what the community is saying. And then when the roar gets louder, then it's like, okay, you know what, maybe we should look at this versus, coming off no. And grant you, I think maybe Buster had said this, and if you didn't, I'm giving you credit for it anyway. Maybe the person that said on stream, we're not looking at artifacts, probably shouldn't have said that, and probably said it because he asked a question and didn't know what was put on the spot.
Very well. I mean, why does Luke Smith not answer questions anymore?
Because he put his foot in his mouth.
He put his foot in his mouth. But now this is the person, even though he came across like talking about throwing your money at the screen. Yeah, that was Luke Smith, by the way. Mm-hmm. He actually seemed like a really big douchebag. But now he's the guy that we're thanking for the raids and for Taken King. And hopefully for the sequel, because he's the dude in charge.
Yeah, he's the dude in charge.
Yeah, that's the thing, though. Bungie is also a community of gamers themselves. They don't have... And that's why they're open. They hire gamers. Like, you can tell that. Every time somebody's met Bungie employees, Like, they walked away, like, every time I've heard of this meetup, like, high-end employees, low-end employees, I've heard them walk away, it's like, they're gamers. Mm-hmm. They make a game they want to play.
And they actually do play the game. They mentioned it a couple times on the stream. I mean, they do play this at home. Like,
yeah. I mean, you actually have people that have home play time. I mean, good Lord, Wisniewski forever. It took him... I think it took forever for me to not see him posting about playing Destiny, to be honest. But no, that's the thing. But also, I think that's like a frustration for them, too, because this game that sometimes barely works for them, too. How aggravated do they have to be?
Very aggravated. And to be honest, and this is why because like, when I'll rip somebody, but hell, at least I'll give you a suggestion on top of it. That's why I said, if you really want to extend yourself to the community, you can bring a few people in, have us sign a non-disclosure agreement, and have them test your game. Because sometimes you're in the code and you don't see that something is broken. This is why I railed about Ophidians. Not because it's my baby. And I said it's not because it's my baby. Because, again, I use other exotics. But it was like they had enough time to actually realize, I thought, well, you know what? If we release it as is, this may not be the result that we would want.
And honestly, they didn't even change them. I think they changed them just enough so that they could say they changed them, so that way people would actually not use them for a while.
But when they did change it, they didn't get like normally. I feel like normally they give like, okay, it's reduced by this percentage, this number of time. They basically
didn't give that at all.
They made it very general, so it was like, okay, well,
it's not immediate. It just makes it really high now, and so it's like that's why I changed it. Like I said, I found pre-patch. I found the clip of me switching from Susanu to Blind Perdition on my Warlock beforehand. I did my best to recreate. Now, this is like by no means, like for the listeners, this is by no means accurate testing, not accurate, the ideal situations at all. But from that change, like post to after, it was 1 in 1/30th of a second slower now than what it was to change between those specific weapons. But the handling stats take from 2 weapons, so I'm guessing it's like 1/5 of a second at most that it could be slower, still barely perceptible.
Right.
Barely. And also, that change happened to Blade Dancers, too. You piece of crap for not even mentioning that. Quick Draw has been in the talent grid for 3 years now.
I don't understand, but see, that's the thing. I don't understand why they changed certain things, and I didn't get into it with hunters because I don't main hunter, so I'm not going to try to speak intelligently on something that I can't.
No, right? But you don't even know, man. It hurt us.
Which is hurt us. Well, I'm glad you're here, so now you can rip them too. But that's the point.
Legitimately, the legitimate talk about ripping Bungie. As an open letter to Bungie, how freaking dare you go through with the Hungering Blade change? Look at how much crap you've broken, and you knew you were going to break it. You actually said that you were going to break it, and you still broke it. What the crap, Bungie?
It's been fixed, though, subsequently.
It has not been fixed until it's actually been fixed, and it ain't been fixed. They still working on it.
Well, here's
Why even go through with the change that's going to break at least a dozen other systems that are required?
If it ain't
like
broke,
you said,
why'd you fix
Red
it?
Death. More importantly, Bubble Supercast.
Yep.
That's always giving you help back.
I railed about that
health
too.
Back.
Mm-hmm.
I know. I heard. I listened to these things. But still, Bungie. My biggest issue is the fact that they knew it was going to break it. They didn't have the fix yet. And they still put out this change. I mean, fair enough that they warned us, so that we didn't have to go, wait, my bubble's popping differently. Or those few weird people that get cleanup kills with Red Death. That's not healing quite as much as it did last time. But Ermagerd. Bungie.
I thought you were going to say those weird people who made Defender. That's why I threw the finger. But then went Red Death.
Wow.
I was like, I take that back.
Those weird people that do
I
Red
take
Death.
that
Come
back.
on now. I know.
Wow.
I know 2 glorious defenders, and that's you and Brolijah. Come on now.
Davis?
I said Brolijah.
No,
Davis?
He meant and Davis too. You know 3 defenders.
Davis is 2?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Man. so rare. I talk with Davis more than I play with Davis. You know. I think anymore.
Bish, she's back. she's back behind you.
And now we notice.
And now, as you see, that
the businessman is now being stalked.
The female
by his predator.
No, I'm getting stroked ever so gently.
The female business is starting her courtship rituals.
Legitimately, like audio wise, that doesn't sound right. I mean,
at
least people that are watching right now, they can see, but like
she's
when this gets posted,
my neck and my head.
And but just to flat out come out and say, you know, she's stroking me gently right now.
It's just, we're on stream, dude. Come on now.
It's like,
well, then they saw the hand behind the back of my head.
Meanwhile, somebody from Twitch is like,
the stream.
You said it though.
Dropping the hammer down.
Yeah.
So I mean, like, legitimately, that's like the only problem I've had out of that entire balance change.
And the special amp not reloading.
That's an annoyance.
You were a little fierce about that one, buddy.
I am, because it's aggravating, but at the same time, I'm working around it. I'm more used to fusion rifles and sniper rifles because they reload all in one go. But shotguns are just aggravating. But at the same time, Bungie, if you want me to abuse Final Round, I will, because I'm just that lazy.
Yeah,
it gonna happen.
He was so furious he had a bowling ball with a skull in the middle of it. That's a reference. So, well, let me be one to say, Des, welcome back. We missed you.
It was a very dark time. And then I go and listen to the past broadcasts, and I got to make sure I'm listening to the RngCast, not some other salty podcast. Like, holy God, man!
Oh yeah, like I said, see, when you're not here, you basically let loose, man. You just let me loose,
right? I learned that I really got to be here. I am like, you know, the muzzle that was on what's his face for Silence of the Lambs. That's what I got to be for business. I got to be that muzzle.
Because you never see me that angry.
Shut the hell up, man.
You've never seen me that fired.
No, I've never actually heard you that, because, like I said, I'm normally here to go again. How long are we going to go through this content? How long did you go through the content in the past 2 years at the release at the end of the year?
I told you, Bisk can rant. Like I will rant. Like, you know what's crazy? People on Discord earlier this week thought I was mad because I said I'll keep my comments to myself. I'm like, I'm not mad. I actually just wanted to just didn't want to say anything. I just like, okay.
He knows this person of better intelligence that might tell him otherwise. Sorry.
Like, you know, like, no, not every time I'm just a angry black guy. I mean,
yeah,
I'm not Samuel L. Jackson's cousin, for God's sake.
Oh my God,
Leroy L. Jackson.
Is, like, I legitimately made notes for that entire thing just to make sure I remember brought up exactly what I wanted to bring up. I was debating on if I wanted to make angry black guy Samuel L. Jackson comments in that, but then I never got around to actually writing it. But I would have.
Yeah, I would have. Go ahead,
because that's exactly what you sounded like those past 2 weeks.
Yeah. Oh yeah,
you sound like, drink my beer. It's good.
It'll get you fucked up. You might even fight or two.
I felt bad for Dan because he probably was like, dude, I don't know who Business is, and Buster, you didn't tell me that he was an angry black guy, so I'm gonna try to be super positive. And it's like, no, Dan, you play PvE. Shut up.
like I said, this past 2 weeks will give the listeners a thing. We're balanced. We are yin and yang expanded because we're like three colors that are merging in.
I don't make the Triforce reference because because it's just Zelda's my favorite game. I made the Triforce because that's legitimately what it is. Like, there's three of us. There's three Triforces. It makes sense.
This is the best shirt ever, too.
That is dope.
So does if you don't want an angry black guy on the podcast, you got to be here, bud.
I know, right?
And if you're not going to be here, let me know so I won't be here either.
Fuck you. Fuck you. So it'll be like the first episode. Great, thanks. Hey guys, it's Buster.
The RngCast with Buster. Me. I don't know what happened to Biz and Raven.
I know where they're at.
You sons of bitches.
We're going solo. I miss you guys. Next week, 2 replacements.
I got motherfuckers in my phone. I got a quick dial. I'll find somebody. I'll find bodies to talk to me. I'll find bodies to talk to me. So we're going to move on to the anti-assault mine. Des, you missed the Justin Steele episode.
I
Just
know,
talking to him,
and
but you still
we're
listen.
freaking positive outlook and everything, and Biz is still gonna like come with salt. It's like, come
No,
on,
I didn't come with salt, man. I came with Himalayan salt.
Right,
Yeah, next you came with salt for real.
Himalayan sea salt. You was
Mm-hmm.
so this one.
Mm-hmm. I came with fish sauce.
Yeah. So sometimes the results don't match the tremendous effort you give. Don't use that as a signal to quit. Use that as a signal to get better.
Yeah. Don't quit, Bungie.
Why? You just took like 20 minutes, Biz. Come on, man.
Hey, I didn't say anything was wrong. No, I just said I'm giving Bungie encouragement. I ripped them for the last 2 weeks. I'm giving encouragement. Don't quit,
Which,
Bungie.
like I said, half of it didn't even matter or make sense. So it's like, but like I said, legitimately there are some points in there. Like Bungie, come on, you're gonna break like half your game to do a thing.
Also, I was trying to get us all hired so we could work there as testers. I mean, God, you didn't see like
Well, I mean, you legitimately have testing background. Why don't you apply? Get us in, man. Or are you scared? You scared? I get it.
I ain't
get
scared.
it.
I don't live in Washington.
Why not? Washington's gorgeous, except for it rains all the freaking time. We could be
Yeah.
like Munch in England, because apparently it rains all the time there too.
Yeah.
Really?
Oh yeah.
I mean, that's what Munch can like correct me, because I'm sure he's still here. I love you, Munch.
Subcode says, "Give me back sticky trip mines and double shade step." No,
Give us back sticky trip mines for real, man. That was like the only skill needed stick in the game, because that was the only sticky nade that didn't curve to its target. Bungie.
You know what?
Aggravated with sticky nades.
you know what?
I'm right. I know.
What I was gonna say was, instead of like you guys having the shit, what's the grenade called? Not the pulse grenade. Help me out here. The sticky one for the blade dancers.
Skip. Flux.
Flux.
Yeah, I hate that grenade so fucking much.
Dude, magnetic, legit, like freaking.
No, fusion's the worst. It'll do a
Oh, Fusion is
360. Like,
But still,
what
like,
happened?
also,
It's truth.
As a side note, like on my YouTube, I have released finally my end of year 2 stuff. Finally, it was 2 videos, version 1 and version 2. They're both hilarious because it's also like when we really started playing with like who would become the revolution.
That knife throw though.
Tell me about it, man. Black Shield. I've actually tried to replicate that recently, and that shot is hard as balls, man.
Dude, it was a
That shot is
stroke
hard
of
as
genius
balls.
at that time that's going to be, remembered.
Drop.
That's not.
That's
Oh, yeah.
knife. Our Australian
That's
listeners,
knife.
our Australian listeners are like, these fuckers.
I know, right? Hey, Crocodile Dundee is all we got, man.
Yeah,
Let's-
Paul Hogan. Paul Hogan
him
and the
and,
Crocodile Hunter. Steve
Him
Irwin.
and Steve Irwin. It was like that's all of our like Australia. Other than our Australian friends, that's all we got, man.
What about the Outback guy?
I think that's just an American that does a shitty
Yeah,
Australian accent.
that sounds like bad Australian accent. Which I'm not gonna say nothing because I legitimately had a friend from England say that Shax had a bad English accent. Come to find out that the voice actor that does Shax, which is also Marcus in The Walking Dead, is from England.
Suck it, nerd.
So
Suck. No, I'm kidding.
Suck it,
if he has a
nerd.
bad English accent, he just has a funky English accent because that is a legit English accent, apparently.
Maybe he's from the north.
The North
Crap,
remembers.
I know.
The North remembers.
That's like it was legitimately like the moment I found out that the dude that played House.
Hugh
When I found
Laurie.
out he was English. Yeah, when I found out Hugh Laurie was English. Oh my god.
Yeah, that's
So watch him for like 3 years playing the very American talking House and realize, oh no, he talks like this. And it's like,
What about
Very
what about
posh.
Andrew Lincoln from
I know, right?
Rick Grimes?
Same
You're like,
thing.
he better do his neck out. And he talks like that. All right.
Yeah.
You can teach a course. I love it.
Meanwhile, when we try to speak like the English and British folks, we sound like jackasses.
Yeah, we
I
do.
know, right?
And we always have to end some sentence. Cheerio. Shut up. They don't say cheerio.
Cheerio. Would you like a wee spot of tea? Like legitimately, that's like the one line. I think it was from Duke of Earl, even.
Right now, Munch is swinging around
John
the
Candy?
controller. Just
I know. He's probably like, we don't even talk about tea like that.
We don't even drink tea.
Jesus.
Drink coffee. Like,
we had an interesting conversation the other day about the the movie Snatch with the
Okay.
Pikey accent.
Oh yeah.
And the fact that he did the Pikey accent, and I was cracking up. Him and co-founder were going like just doing it back and forth, and I'm fucking dying because they sound so right. Like the way Munch did it was just so good. But we're gonna move on to the RNG topic. So, Des, what's your number?
62.
Biz, what's your number?
24.
I'm gonna go 51. 10.
Biz.
10. So we roll again.
Biz.
9. Nope.
Oh God. Strike 2.
33. Me. Fuck. Des, you got one. I'll pass it to you. Welcome back.
RNG topic. Have you ever went back and played something that you completely forgot you loved? Because I've done that recently, and I can talk a lot about it. Because I had 2 weeks there where I was dark, and I started playing, and I stole my daughter's DS because I couldn't play games on my PS4 because most of them were online. So I stole my daughter's DS and played the hell out of Pokemon, man.
Oh, that reminded me. Thank you for bringing that up. That reminded me of one of the Revolution ideas I must have missed. I missed 2 of them, but we'll do that for the freestyle. Thank you for that.
Buster.
Thank you for that. We got caught up. I got caught up in Des staring at me like John Wick. I'm gonna call somebody to fuck out. Yeah, that. See, he was looking at me like, let me bake. And I was like, I'm gonna let him bake. Fuck it, I'll skip it. We'll do it later. But
no, like legitimately, I went back and played Pokemon. I'm actually surprised how well, like, if any of y'all were freaking Pokemon fans at any point in time, buy a DS, get Pokemon Sun and Moon. That game is like amazing for a Pokemon game. I tell you what, holy crap! They got like quest waypoints now. You don't even need HMTM slaves because that crap is done away with. It's nice, man. They actually tell you in the menu if you fought a Pokemon before and you face another Pokemon, that same Pokemon, your moves will tell you if a move is super effective before you even use the move.
yeah,
Nice.
It's a very slight change. That Ermagerd is amazing. It's like you don't actually have to remember. Oh, hey, this guy's poison and
Psychic is super effective against poison.
ground. But okay, what about ground? You're throwing in ground. What does that do against psychic? Does that do anything against psychic?
I don't know if it's effective.
it's normal.
Exactly. Shut up, Buster. God. Not everyone. Like, legitimately, I went from, like, the last Pokemon I played was, like, Gold and Silver. Like, other than, like, Fire Red.
Jesus.
Green. Yeah. I played Fire Red and Leaf Green before, but that was, like, my experience. And all of a sudden, I'm pumping into, like, the latest one, and I'm just like, Jesus Christ, this is amazing.
It also tells you when you get the stab bonus.
Yes.
Same type attack bonus. Biz, I'm sorry.
Oh, God.
What, I'm sorry?
Because I said stab, and I didn't know if you knew what the stab bonus. I didn't know if
Same
you knew what
type
that meant.
attack.
Basically, if you're a normal type and you use a normal move, you get an extra 25% damage.
Oh, okay.
And also, legitimately, I never knew, like, the breeding aspect, like, competitive breeding.
Oh
like,
my
legit.
god.
We're talking about, like, getting Dittos that have perfect IVs, which is not even a stat you can even see in-game without hacking it.
Yeah. You gotta breed a couple times and then write down and do math.
Until, like, this thing... Oh my god.
Okay. Pokemon. Interesting.
I mean, it's like legit. Apparently, Munch has flipped my look.
Yeah, the lady, the Madam Buster is a Pokemon player. So,
Cool.
you know.
That Stone Cold look though, legit. But yeah, this Pokemon was actually like really legit. And I was wondering if, like, you know, you guys have ever, you know, maybe been into something. Well, I think we actually had a revolutionary idea that's kind of.
Yeah.
I think Pulse actually had a question in chat that was fairly similar to that.
I know.
We've ever, like, surprised. Here's a question: what video game have you never gotten around to playing but always wanted to because you heard it was really good? Something like that.
Well, I can answer both questions. So the first question, which game that I haven't played in a while, and then I played again and realized I love the game. Well, I have a slight modification. That'd be Titanfall 2, because I was a big fan of Titanfall 1.
Yeah, that's fair.
So, like, that Titanfall was Destiny before Destiny.
Yeah.
So, like, you couldn't get me off of Titanfall. Even without a damn story, which obviously I see why I liked it, because I PvP, bro. What's PvE? I don't know. You know what's so funny? I still haven't beaten the PvE story yet. I just go in there and play PvP.
It doesn't surprise me. Like, I'm not shocked.
Oh, I heard the story is pretty good, but I don't PvP, bro. I mean PvE, bro. But the second question is, what game I heard was good that I never got around to playing? It, Battlefield 1.
Okay, I know I get that way, but I don't know.
Too many shooters, bro.
I know. I used to be like legit. I mean, y'all might have caught me saying this. Like legit, I used to be an RPG guy, man. Now I own like 5 shooter titles on my PS4. I mean, Division is basically an RPG game, like legit. RPG. But we got Destiny, we got Battlefield 4, we got Battlefront. We got friggin' 3.
Dude, too many games, not enough time, bro.
Tell me, that's just the shooters. That's not Dragon Ball Xenoverse 2 that just had an update. That's not Final Fantasy 15 that's just had an update. That's not Final Fantasy 14, which I still got some game time on.
I just got into Overwatch a little bit. But guess who's my favorite character in Overwatch?
McCree?
No, actually not McCree. Surprised that you...
May.
No, Soldier 76.
The basic. Mr. Basic.
He's a close... Well, first of all, he can sprint.
And he's the only... Well, he's designed that way. He was designed as like the shooter gateway. I mean, a lot of people say COD, but...
Nah.
You know? But no, the Soldier 76 is legitimately designed as the gateway into Overwatch for your average shooter, because he's got the sprint ability, he's got rockets, he's got full auto rifle. He's your stereotypical shooter,
and that's why I like him.
Yeah,
I played with
that's legit. I did when I was doing the beta, like legit. That was the best dude I performed with, because you don't have to wrap your head around much.
Right. Like I used to main Reinhardt, but like he's too slow. Like when you have
he's
to
big,
respawn,
slow, but oh my god, does he look kind of cool when it's like people against walls, smashing hammer. Oh my god.
Yeah, pretty much.
I use Tracer.
Tracer,
wait,
I don't like.
Wait,
I don't like her abilities.
Like a hunter?
Yeah,
I would have pegged you as a Reinhardt, because that's a defender.
No, I played Reinhardt a lot too.
Okay,
I played Reinhardt. I played Tracer.
Yeah, like Tracer's your hunter though. That's why I like. She just couldn't do enough damage though.
I think Junkrat too. I played a little bit.
But God, did she have mobility? Oh my God, just pop, 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 zip, 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 rewind. Oh my God, it's like.
I've had a feeling about deja vu.
Wait,
when I first heard that line, Ermagerd.
Bastion too. I played with a lot when I played. Just
Bastion was cheap. Just Bastion legit has been like easy mode for, especially like early game. Oh my God. If I want to kills, okay, I'm going this corner. I'm just going to go into turret mode. Dead. Reload.
With this candy.
And actually, you don't even reload. You actually go out of turret mode, then go back into turret mode, because that's faster. It's like ill will reloading.
See, for me, the game that I have gone back to a lot of the times was No Man's Sky. I forgot how fun that game is. Neverwinter Nights is kind of fun if you're an old school D&D type of cat.
Yeah. Oh, speaking of being an old school D&D type of cat, like anybody like old enough to remember Planescape Torment. PS4, on Xbox One, and PC and Mac, there's a new Torment, a spiritual successor, if I can verbiage right now, to Planescape Torment called Torment Tides of Numenor, I do believe. It is not, of course, obviously a direct sequel, because they couldn't get the rights to Torment from the Wizards of the Coast, which, understandably, because, spoiler alert, Wizards of the Coast are some greedy bastards. Which, I mean, fair enough, it's business, so, But they instead set it off of Monty Cook's Numenor system, or their storyteller system, or whatever it was, in the Numenor setting. And like I said, it's a spiritual sex. They've said themselves it's going to be hard to get. I mean, certain things aren't going to be able to be like transferred, and a lot of like references are not going to be overt because of licensing issues. But as some of the developers have said themselves, it's really hard to copyright and claim for generic RPG systems. Mm-hmm. So there are going to be some returning systems and some ways it goes. Now, it's been like I was talking to it about Converse. Torment was an incredible game because it didn't start off like your normal D&D RPG, even though it was a D&D setting. Planescape was. You start off in an interdimensional nexus known as Sigil. Okay. And in this world, any archway can lead to a gateway that can be turned into a gateway into another dimension entirely. Any archway, any random archway could very well be a gateway to another world. And we're talking like your classical opinions of like heaven and hell, the wild hunt, things like that can be reached from Sigil. And wars between angels and demons just rage on in these like landscapes and crap. And here you are, waking up as a complete and total blank slate. You have amnesia. There's nothing you remember. And you go about world, meeting people, interacting with them, learning from them, and that's how you learn. Like what companions you keep and who you learn from and how you interact with them pretty much defines who you are as a class. And it was really you don't do RPGs like that.
So it was a choice-based class system as opposed to a class-based class system. More traditional.
Yeah, legit. I mean, one of your companions is a Githyanki in Planescape that took kind of like a roguish like class to a degree, but you learn like it's almost like Spellbladey because you learn. Which I mean, spoilers, but then again, the game was made in 1999, so if you haven't played it by now, you're not gonna. But spoilers are the fact that pretty much every companion you run into and you interact with, like you don't have any memories because who you were ascended into like godhood. And it's your decisions that take you into the plane of shadows, which is not a nice place. And you have to confront yourself. You have to confront this deified version of you. And from there, it's like, I mean, it's basically what became like a classic choice and like alignment system, because you can choose to destroy yourself. You can choose to merge yourself and like rule the freaking planescape, whatever. But it like, that's how it like went. And like I said, your companions that you bring with you have actually interacted with this former you, like this god you. And in some cases, like I said, the Githyanki that gives you this thing that helps you become a class, well, that thing was actually given to him by you. So it creates like this causality that's really interesting. And this is the game that is now, like, in spirit is Planescape, or is Torment Ties of Numenor. So it's really trippy. It's like very small because it is still like top down 2.5D isometric view. So it's like over the shoulder, like really old Fallout and crap. And it's only like 1.9 gig, but still that 1.9 gig can still equal like 50 to 60 hours of gameplay, like, and just like exploring and crap. Because this was like just, it was critically acclaimed, but it wasn't like extremely popular because it was D&D. But Ermagerd, if you like RPGs. If you don't like RPGs, buy it. Get it. Now.
Also honorable mention, Soul Reaver. The Blood Omen and Soul Reaver series. They're really good.
Almost got remade.
I know. I'm so mad. Those are so good.
It's like, Square, what are you doing?
Yeah, please give it to me. Give it to me.
I think they even canceled Nosgoth. Mm-hmm. The multiplayer for
which would have been the WoW in
the
Nosgoth.
The MOBA.
Yeah, the MOBA for.
It would have been like the League of Legends type crap, or Smite more accurately. Mm-hmm. It's like, oh yeah, we're going to cancel the single player, but we're going to keep developing multiplayer. Oh, they did that for like a year and a half. Whoop! Now it's gone.
Psych. Played the game.
Square Enix.
Go buy a PS2 like I did. I bought a PS2, guys. I'm sorry.
Well, sadly, that's the only way you're going to get it because Square Enix has to.
I bought a PS2 and all the Blood Omen games just because I want to play them again. I didn't think that they would be on the PlayStation 4 network, so I could the PS4 store. That way, I could stream them, like I'm going to do with Rogue Galaxy one day, sooner or later.
Defiance might be because I think that was PS3, but that might be PS Now.
But Defiance was like,
Screw that. Defiance had a great story, man. It was the one game that they actually could finish.
Wait. It
was the last one.
Okay, never mind. Correction. Sorry.
Yeah.
Blood Omen 2 wasn't good. Blood Omen 2 wasn't
yeah.
good. Defiance was the one where they combined that you could play you played as Kane and you played as Raziel, right? And then the stories jumped into each other, and then
it finally freaking culminated like it was supposed to in Soul Reaver.
2 becomes 1.
Like FYI, like talking about short development cycles, they've always existed. Soul Reaver would not have been a series of games if they actually had the time to finish the one.
Mm-hmm.
Legacy of Kain would have ended at Soul Reaver if they would actually had the freaking time they needed.
So normally this would be the part of your week in Destiny, but I think we covered that. We played a lot of
Iron Banner.
Iron Banner. So I'm gonna bring up some of the 2 topics that we skipped over because Raven gave me the look that Munchie eloquently copied and made a clip of. From Coed Beast, what's your favorite handheld and why?
Handheld?
What do you mean handheld?
Handheld system. There hasn't been very many, so I think we're all going to say Game Boy.
There hasn't?
Yeah, pretty much.
Okay, if it's old, I'm going to say the Vita. Or the PSP, actually. Because the PSP actually had a lot of, the Vita tried to go places, but a lot of ground was really made for the PSP, and it really didn't get a lot of, love for some reason. But I think it was a very powerful console for being a handheld. Same thing for the Vita. Mm. I think Sony consoles, like I said, even though they haven't done well, because, they just don't have the library to compete with the freaking DS and Nintendo's freaking category and backlog of freaking portable gaming. Which is one reason why the Switch is an ingenious move. It actually might be become everyone's. It's a glorified PS Vita to be honest, but with a worse battery time and a bigger screen. 2 an hour and a half for a full game is what you can play
That's ridiculous.
on the go.
Yeah,
it's that's not portable. That's bring your extension cord, buddy.
Yeah, the Vita was good. Everybody had a Game Boy, I think, at our
age. I even had a Game Boy, man.
Yeah.
I had a Game Boy. I had a magnifying lens that had the lights on it so I could play it in the dark and I could actually see what the crap was going on.
That green, ghostly glow. You're like...
Yes. One of the best things I ever bought, though, legitimately, was the Super Game Boy from Super NES. Mm. That was so... Oh, my God. That was so much better.
Game Gear?
Remember
Game Gear?
I remember. My God, that ginormous... I knew a dude with a Game Gear. Yeah. Oh, my God. That thing took more batteries than most stereos during the time, man. Legit.
36 AAAs.
The freaking C-cells, man. Yeah. Jesus. The only thing that you needed was boom boxes with freaking that big of batteries. Sweet Christ. Busy. And if you remember what a C or D cell is.
Yeah.
Good God.
Credits to you. Do you have a favorite handheld, Biz?
Game Boy.
Game Boy.
Game Boy? It's legit.
All right.
I played the holy crap out of Legend of Zelda Link's Awakening on Game Boy. Oh my God. I played the holy balls out of that. Almost 100% of that game on my own. But I never could figure out how to get that last seashell.
Converse.
That's what we call it.
Converse says, the perfect Destiny 2 in my eyes is a full gear reset. Well, you get what you want.
Yep.
Yeah. But you get one weapon mounted above your vault as a memorial to Destiny 2. What would your, each host, mounted weapon of choice be?
Oh, man.
I've already said it before, I think, or hinted at it before. My very first legendary is still in my vault. My Zombie Apocalypse, my very first legendary I ever got to drop in this game, is still in my vault. If I had the opportunity to bring one weapon with me, whether it's mounted or whatever, that's it. I'm bringing it with me, because it's my first. I have like 6 zombie apocalypse year 2 or 3s now.
Yeah.
But by God, I still have that first one.
Go ahead, Biz.
Okay. We don't have to use it, right? Just mount it on the wall.
Just mount it
Exactly.
above
Just mount it.
My grass from Malik.
Fair enough.
I grinded for it.
That's true.
That was the only PvE thing I grinded for, like legit.
Legit. And that's what started this cast. If not for that.
Hey guys, I was thinking about doing a podcast. Fuck yeah, I'm in. All right, cool. We're the podcast now. That's the long and short of how the conversation went. Just stretched above 4 hours.
It's like we've been able to like sit in the same party for hours on end talking about bull crap. Yeah, let's do this.
Put it on the internet.
Let's actually record it and put it out for other people to listen.
Right.
We're surprised.
So yeah, grass would actually be very that would be very symbolic.
Yeah.
I'm sure you guys aren't going to be surprised. I'm guaranteeing I could just go, hey Des, what do you think about weapons?
Shadow price.
Shadow price.
Man.
Shadow price.
I'm assuming it wasn't exotic, so that's why I didn't say Telesto. But if I could, it would.
Shadow price.
It would be Shadow price.
Shadow price was the grind though for him too.
Oh yeah.
The years of grind. Even after he didn't need to grind, he kept grinding for it.
Yeah, I did. I grinded for a bunch of them.
Which I think is funny because both of y'all's are like the grind-worthy ones. Mine just like literally popped in my lap. It's like, oh, here's your first one.
Yeah, oh my god.
It's like I remembered it. I don't know why. I guess it's because it was a heavy.
Real quick, guys. If you looked
Or
at
actually, the fact that it came out of a legendary engram back when it was actually harder to get a legendary out of legendary engrams.
when legendary engrams
Bungie's
turned to
code.
green, when they turned to green,
Exactly. It was harder to get a legendary out of a legendary engram than it was to get an exotic out of a legendary engram. Legit. It was like a 1% chance to get an exotic out of a legendary and less than that to get an actual legendary. So I think that's one reason I remember it. If I'm not mistaken, it was like it actually came from a legendary. Like the rest of my legendaries freaking turned into blues except for that zombie apocalypse.
Right.
I don't know if you guys looked on our Discord yet, the general, but Scully posted a picture of, I think, our youngest fan. So, hey, Garen.
Yeah. Hello.
What's up, buddy?
That's the Garen moment. And, now we're going to just bring the podcast to a smooth close. Do you guys have anything you want to talk about real quick? Because I know, Biz, you said you had an out.
I don't have anything I need to say in particular.
Oh, go see the movie Get Out.
No.
Well, it's really good. It's really
I
good.
know that movie. That movie's like sketchy, man. I don't know about that one. But also, speaking of which, if you want to watch the best video game movie ever made, Warcraft. Warcraft.
Oh, yeah.
Dude, they did so good in Warcraft.
I mean, I will.
I mean, probably because Blizzard is like, it's like, Paramount Videos, Blizzard Entertainment. I mean, they're in the title card. I mean, I don't know who actually produced it other than like Blizzard, and I don't know what studio did it. But it's like the graphics are cool. It reminds me of like Lord of the Rings, but it is like the most accurate to like the lore without taking like any kind of drastic curves, kind of like the first Street Fighter movie or Mortal Kombat. But
this guy.
Or Resident Evil. Let's talk about that. No, let's not. Anyway, but no, that is like legitimately the best, like most well done video game movie ever done. And I was asked, like, does it matter if I know the story of Warcraft or not? Doesn't matter.
Right.
Because this literally happens, like, in the original 1995 Warcraft war of humans and orcs. Like, that is the lore it covers. Like, the first encounter, the beginning of everything is what that movie covers, so you don't need to know just what.
My microphone randomly dropped on its own.
Des got so excited, the power of his excitement knocked his microphone over.
Didn't it happen to you last week?
Holy crap.
Yeah, it happened to me last week.
Like,
All right. I'm going to keep mine on my boom arm.
Yeah, my shit went.
Move. Don't you
move. I apologize for that. But yeah, so yeah. Like, best video game movie ever. Other than, like I said, the first Street Fighter movie, because that's so bad, it's hilarious, and it's good. Watch it. Watch Mr. Thick Belgian accent Jean-Claude Van Damme try to be all-American.
The muscles from Brussels.
He's gonna kick Bison's ass so hard.
This guy.
So.
That the next Bison wannabe is gonna feel it.
Oh, yeah.
All right.
So, oh my god, it's hilarious trying to watch him.
That movie's tough.
And it gave Bison like the best comment ever, man. Or the best like quotable line ever that actually fits his character, and it's hilarious. And was performed by Raul Julia, who did an amazing job. Oh my god, I'm mixing my words all up. I can't verbiage today, man. I'm scared.
So
Can't speak, bro.
I just want to say real quick before we bring the show to a close. This is episode 42. We have 10 more weeks until we hit
1 year official.
Yeah, because there's 52 weeks in a year. If last time I checked, this is 52, so 10 more weeks, and we hit our year anniversary. We hit our 1 year episode.
Just over 2 months.
I think we've been talking about T-shirts, so T-shirts might be coming around that time. Don't forget to check out all the episodes, all the podcasts in the Destiny Tracker Podcast Network.
Good lessons, man.
And once again, Des, it's good to have you back. We missed you, buddy. Well, why don't you tell everybody where they can find you?
Well, everyone, you can find me very easily at Twitter at DES_Raven. You can find me on Twitch, which occasionally I will be back to that, I promise. And that would be twitch.tv/The Corvus Nest. And like I've said before, I had just put up, actually I think I mentioned in the pre-show, but I had just put up my 2 end of year 2 compilations. I don't really like calling them montages because I don't think they're that good, but they do have some crispy plays, let me tell you what. But there are 2 of them. They're both hilarious, I believe, and they are on YouTube right now. You can search me out, Death Switch Raven, because I don't have a custom URL because I need more of you people to actually subscribe to me, but that's all good. Doesn't matter. Just watch them. They're funny. I promise.
You might even see a buster or 2.
You might actually see a few busters. Let me tell you what. There's like all I gotta say is shake and bake.
Yeah, there's a lot of shakes, and I helped. Go ahead, Biz. Tell where they're at.
Well, I'm the main man. You can find me on Twitter at businessman_DRP. You can find me on Twitch, twitch.tv/businessman24. I haven't been able to stream lately because I don't have my mix amp. Astros, please hurry up. Give me my mix amp app. It's something's wrong with it. I can't do it. Oh my god, I can't do it. So hopefully, once I get my mix amp back, then I can, stream again because I don't want to stream from the PS4. It's kind of meh. I don't do that.
And this is the last stuff you can do on PS4, like your share play, whatever capture is like really getting really legit and such. But yeah.
So, hopefully you guys can stay tuned and you can see me stream again. Yeah, so you can find me on PSN, the Businessman 24.
And I'm Buster Knuckle. You can find me on Twitter at BusterKnuckle13. That's BusterKnuckle13. On Twitch, twitch.tv/Buster_Knuckle. That way I remembered. See that. And on YouTube at Buster Knuckle. You can find the podcast, which you're watching now, so you already know the Twitch. Twitch.tv/the RngCast. You can find us on YouTube. What is it? The RngCast podcast, something like that.
Yeah, RngCast podcast.
You can email us you can send your emails to the RngCast@gmail.com and follow us on Twitter and Instagram at the RngCast.
Give us words. We want them.
Yeah, for sure. Send us anything you want.
Any words. Good words. Bad words.
Sideways words.
I'm lonely words. You know, whatever. We'll talk to you.
And with that being said, other than let's go, baby. This is the RngCast. We're out.
Later, man.
See you all next week.
Hey, we found Raven.